Hello and welcome back to the 401 Pro Tour qualifier for Magic 2015. We are in the finals right now. Felix versus Daniel Yang. Felix is on the play, leading with a Crone Skyguard.
Got off to a quick start.
Yeah.
These guys are not messing around. Felix won his last match through the myriad of combat tricks in his deck. Able to just, every time there was a combat happening, just have his 2-2 beat his opponent's 3-3 or other 2-2. Just getting ahead very quickly and just able to completely overwhelm the match.
So very similar to his match against the blue-red deck.
Yep, seems to be how his deck works.
Yeah.
However, a pair of 1-1 flyers is not nearly as terrifying. I did not see Daniel Yang's last match, so what's his deck like?
He's on a black-red aggro deck with a Minotaur theme in it, and
Is that the Seder Nicksmith?
I believe
Or is
that
that
is
the
the
2/3?
Minotaur Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little bit less scary at this stage, I'd say. Gets in there in the air and follows up with a 3-3.
Alright, so Dan is at 17 to Felix's 20.
Correct.
Um,
What do we see Felix has his hand? Looks
Actually-
like he has a feral invocation, but I can't really tell.
Pretty slow start out of Daniel. Normally we saw a 1-drop into a 2-drop into a 3-drop.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So that card is quite good.
Yeah.
The
Alright, so the Mogus Marauder
Marauders.
has haste and intimidate, but
it is the Minotaur Lord, correct? We can confirm that? Did you see it a bunch last match? I'm not very familiar with its art.
Ritual Shaman?
Visual Summon? Yeah, it must
Yeah.
be. Not familiar with any other cards that look like that.
Did he just attack with a 2-3 into a 3-3?
And a 2-2, but a 2-2 has Intimidate, so... Dato's
Well,
representing
2-3's being-
something.
Yeah.
Is Felix willing
He does
to make
have
that
Coordinated
trade?
Assault and Titan Strength in his deck, so...
Fair enough. Was there multiple coordinated assaults?
I believe there is just...
There's two. Yeah, so multiple. It's pretty strong.
Should we be talking quieter?
We are 50 feet away. We're fine.
Alright.
Obviously, we shouldn't be shouting, but if just talking at normal volume is fine. We ensured that there was some distance away from the match, so let's just not be like, oh my god, he has all these specific...
What a top deck!
What a specific combat trick top deck!
Alright, so 16 against
Felix
17.
following up with the snake. Assuming Daniel just let some gain some life. Yeah, that completely time walks to the previous attack. Negating any possible value from the Marauders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, having a 2-2 Grey Ogre in play isn't exactly okay. Fated Convocation. Scry 2.
That deals with a 4-4 fairly effectively. Did you see what he did with the scry off the raid off the Fated Convocation?
Bottom top.
Bottom top.
Bottom
Okay.
top, yeah.
It's usually what you end up with. I assume he's going to swing in here for another 4 here.
Yeah.
The Marauder is not a
Then-
Minotaur. It looks like a Minotaur, but it is not.
It's like a Minotaur helmet, but
Yeah, like you'd think it would be, right? But
the horns don't make the Minotaur, I guess.
I once drafted a black-red Minotaur themed deck that had like three of the Marauders. I learned in like round 2 that it was not a Minotaur.
Awkward.
It was still good.
So
Card does not
Dan
have to be Minotaur to be
poking in
excellent.
for 2 damage, taking Felix down to 18 to Dan's 12.
Interestingly, did not choose to attack with the other one.
Yeah, this is I think he's repping it.
Representing the coordinated assault. That seems like if Felix has any kind of combat check, that's a blowout. I think he has the. Okay, unfortunately, he doesn't have the one that
As
sticks
we've
around.
went through 2 of Felix's matches, that's
This
what
deck
this
is
deck
mono
does.
combat trick, so that's
Yeah.
a fairly strong 2-for-1 there. So we generally don't want to play weak combat tricks into the white and green combat tricks. First trick doesn't mean anything if your opponent's creature is considerably bigger than yours,
Exactly.
especially when it starts bigger. Looks like looks like Felix has so their cavalry Pegasus in hand.
Yeah,
To ensure that the beats in the air can continue.
and a tough decision on the top of his deck.
The Chronicler of Heroes is a centaur, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. I don't know its class. It might be a scholar, considering the set's really big into that.
That'd be cool. Just gonna play the other.
Dan just takes 2
Pegasus
this
here.
turn, dropping to 10.
Yeah. It does have a remarkably reduced board. Did Daniel have any of the large Minotaur Lords, the multicolored ones?
Yeah, he
Warcry.
does.
2 Gs. Ah, yeah, there we go. Like that would be a very strong play here.
But it just seems
Very
like a
passive.
little...
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage coming in here.
Okay. Dropping Felix down
Random,
to,
very strong attack.
dropping Felix down to 9. This is
That Minotaur is a very good card.
yeah. And if he has the second one, yikes.
What did Felix have here? Oh,
Fars.
that's very good here, actually. But Felix does have to awkwardly trump block a bit here.
Yeah.
Before he can get online.
Does the Minotaur Lord Rageblood Shaman? That's the one that gives trample. And
gives
the other
trample,
one.
correct.
And the
But
hybrid one gives +2/+0.
+2/+0 and haste.
All right. So if there's another Minotaur,
And it just gets in there for a lot of damage.
yeah, he will probably actually be able to force through lethal.
Gets out of hand really fast.
Yeah. So this is draw. He has draws like Titan Strength. Oh, it looks like he actually had the second Lord in there.
That would be ridiculous.
So I think this is going to be a huge attack. Yeah, that's.
Unfortunately, he is shuffling his hands so aggressively, it's very difficult to see anything.
I'm very shy I saw it. I think he's just counting up.
Oh my god.
And, okay, so
Felix is
9.
Felix is not happy with this.
I think this is an attack for 15.
It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 damage.
Okay.
And they all trample.
Yeah, and Felix is a 9, and he only has
I would go so far as to say that Felix is, I believe, dead.
Yeah, he will be probably dropped to -5, I'm pretty sure.
Many damages.
Much hurt.
Yeah, this is not reasonable.
No, this is
It's completely unreasonable.
this is how you win a PTQ.
This is
Yeah,
this is I guess
We're getting
how you win
quite-
game 1 of a PTQ finals.
we're getting quite a reaction from over there.
That is
A lot of murmurs, a lot of exclamations. People are walking away disgusted. Felix has to pick the card up to cope.
He doesn't have to demonstrate it. He doesn't have to demonstrate the knowledge of the trigger until damage would come up. So it's very difficult to miss a trigger like this now.
Yeah.
Under the new rules. If it doesn't visibly affect the board state, you only have to show that you have knowledge of it when it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
So Felix's only way to win this is through savage cheating. I have a feeling he's not going to do that with 30 people watching.
30 people.
Several judges.
Video coverage.
Video coverage.
Well, we've seen more daring though. All right, blocks. I don't think he knows about.
Am I missing things completely here? Like, this is how the Minotaur works, correct? The Lord.
Rageblood. It has trample, and it gives trample.
Yeah, and the Kragma Warcaller.
Yeah. We can,
+2/+0 and haste.
and it's 5/3 to begin with.
Is a 2/3 to begin with. Yeah. Kragma Warcaller says Minotaur uses control of haste when Minotaur you control attacks. It gets +2/+0 until end. So it's 3 creatures with 7 power getting in there.
All right, and let's look up Rageblood Minotaur to get a quick look.
This is a Shaman.
Shaman.
Okay.
Eh,
They figured it out for us.
Let's
That was,
pull it up anyways.
That
We,
was, yeah, that was 20 damage total. 7, 7, and 6. So yeah, there was no way Felix could ever have.
And that's the power of synergy. We're probably.
Minotaur travel just gets there in the PTQ finals sometimes.
Dan's probably going to board in Perikus here, like he did against.
Yeah. So.
I can't remember the name of his last round opponent. It was only 10 minutes ago.
Steven.
Yeah. And not a whole lot else. Do you think Spectral's acceptable, considering he saw a double Cavalry Pegasus and an Acron Skyguard?
The same argument we had in the top 8 about we did not have an argument. Same thing about Scouring Sands in the top 8 is probably reasonable. I'm not sure if he'd bring it in or not. His deck seems to be a very high synergy already.
Well, it's Scry's 1, so like maybe it. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes you just get the Minotaur deck and draw all the pieces.
Indeed.
The issue with this kind of deck is it generally falters if you don't have draws like that. So he's going to need to rely on having that kind of thing, a kind of aggressive start with this plan at least once more. Although, if that's all he needs to do to win a PTQ, I think that's gives him a pretty good chance. Have your deck work once more. The rest of his deck is fairly strong as well, so.
Yeah, it's overall pretty good. We saw him win Game 1 in the semifinals, missing his second land drop for 2 turns in a row.
He won that game?
And he did win that game. His opponent's deck admittedly was a bit on the slow, clunky side, not able to really close the game out.
But he'll deal with a bunch of 1/1s.
Yeah, but like Still a pretty good demonstration of when your cheap threats can get out of control, generate card advantage. Like he had the that red creature that makes 3/1 tokens.
The Satyr Nixsmith?
Yeah, Satyr Nixsmith.
Saw that earlier in the tournament. Doing some work.
Yeah, cards.
Very strong card.
Not reasonable.
Well, like
a Sunstorm got burned on it just to make sure it couldn't Inspired untap.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a very fragile card. Like, obviously it does everything in the format. It's a 3-drop.
Yeah,
Those one toughness.
So far, in the 2 matches we've seen him play, both decks are unable to interact with it profitably.
Yeah, it's done a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Although, speaking of when Scouring Sands is good,
Ooh.
I don't care how far ahead you are with that card. Scouring Sands is a blowout.
Actually, Scouring Sands is
Very big
the Stoneblade against Daniel's deck. It's loaded with X1s. He's got like a Chrome Crusaders in here.
All kinds of stuff that it beats. Or Felix is not in those colors, and that's not what he's going to do. They are both on 7, Felix is on the play, and of course, this time, Daniel has the aggressive start with a Chrome Crusader. Felix probably, Felix is the Sun Guide to match it up. Sun Guide's a very good card. Felix should have a very good matchup against these kinds of red-black aggressive decks, but apparently they swing for 20 power at 3 creatures that are hasty, so...
Yeah, not fair.
That kind of situation's fairly stressful.
9 into 20.
So let's see what Felix is doing here. Does not seem to have a green source, or is sandbagging it. Entirely possible, since he doesn't seem to have any actual double green in this deck.
Yeah.
And the 06 wall! Yes! He brought this in the last match of his that I watched, and it was a complete MVP. Stonewalled something like 15 points of damage over the course of the game. Literally stonewalled. It's like
yeah,
turn back wall. It's just all it does. Yeah, and there we go.
And
Daniel does not have a 3rd land drop, and the Stonewall does its job. And yeah, he was probably holding it already. Plays the
Staunchard Warrior.
Indeed.
And
2/2 heroic dude. Card is very strong.
Daniel
probably has Magma Jet. Does he have it? No, he does not. He definitely would have played it. He has a Spark Jolt, though.
Yeah.
He did forget the Spark Jolt. Good call, Alex. Good call.
But Felix isn't giving him targets. It's not fair.
Daniel just passes the turn.
Yeah.
I probably would have Spark Jolted by now if I was him. What is that? That's the 2/2 That's the Reach Bestow.
So now he's got a 6/6 Reach Staunchard Defender. That's good.
Probably taking over the game very quickly. Is he trying to... Okay,
Somebody's
trying to put some...
Give this man a die.
Wow, we're in a PTQ top, but we can do better than that. Sorry, PTQ finals, might I add. So fancy. Yeah, it's going to get in there for 6. I doubt Daniel's going to block that.
Yeah.
Giving away too much board value here.
Last match we saw Daniel use Coordinated Assault to do a very good double block.
Yeah, I saw that.
But he's 1 point short of it. No? Yeah, 1 point short of that. But he will be able to...
He has Spark Jolt.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he'll be able to get to 6.
Spark Jolt and Coordinated Assault.
Yeah, this will do it.
Yep, he's going for it. Get some sweet soldier value out of that too.
Oh, man. Sid's still a 2-for-1, but
gets a square 1. Maybe he'll hit a 3rd land.
No, he bottomed it.
Yeah, but now he's closer.
I guess he did get the scry value in the end. But
he's digging.
Yes, I suppose so. So we saw this game before, is what you're saying here? Daniel looking to see if he has any more scry cards in his hand that he want to play. Did he draw it? He did draw the swamp. Okay, so maybe you're right about the scry being very good there.
Spark Jolt is very deceptive.
Felix thought he had this locked. Daniel proving otherwise.
Oh, but how do you break through a 0/6?
Yeah, 0/6s are very good in this matchup.
God.
Daniel just used a bunch of his combat tricks to
Not
deal
even
with one large creature.
Yeah,
So.
and Morgus Marauder can't even bust through this.
Yeah.
This is a nightmare.
Intimidate's not very good against artifact creatures. The 06 reigns.
So he has Wild Celebrants and...
It's like Daniel's probably going to attack and represent another Coordinated Assault. Is that possible? Is that what he's thinking of? Might be dangerous.
He doesn't even have a...
just plays the... is it the Shaman or the
Blood
Nyx?
Shaman, I think.
Or is it the Satyr Nixsmith? I don't know what these cards look like. We'll look it up.
Yeah.
That is the Raid Blood... Oh, is it?
No, it's the Nixsmith.
The arts look the same.
Yeah, like the color palette is very similar.
Well, not the color palette, but also like the design.
The shape, yeah.
Yeah. So,
when you
are you even sure of that?
That's definitely. You can see that hole in the center there.
Good call.
Yeah. And
although honestly,
Felix bashed him
looking at the two,
but there's no hole in the center.
Yeah.
I think Dan's down to 16.
Yeah. So Dan gets in there.
picking up this.
Felix reading the good card. We can now confirm it is the next Smith.
It almost feels like Dan has two different synergies going on. One like swarmy token making, and the other one
5 drops.
Minotaur combo 20 damage you.
Yeah. On the other hand, like the Minotaur just kind of synergizes with the high end that these kind of decks want to play in the first place.
Yeah.
Dan's still just somehow curving out.
And
Misses a bunch of land drops and just gets in there anyways.
Yeah. It's gonna be really scary when he starts making those land drops because his hand's just chock full of gasoline, and Felix has pretty much played every spell available to him.
Is that the... There's cards in his hand.
I think the life totals are 16 for Dan and 19 for Felix, as long as you remember the Sun Guide trigger.
I begin to see. Felix has been very vigilant in remembering his Sun Guide triggers in this top 8. So. The card is continuing to do work. So.
Yeah. That's the trigger you would not want to go home forgetting if you get exactly killed by a Minotaur combo kill.
Yeah. Daniel's pausing to consider the next Smith trigger. Decides not to. Has better cards in his hand, I guess.
Yeah. Oh. Are we going in?
Going for a big combat phase here. We'll see. Or not. Just develops his work.
That's a 2-1.
Went for a big greedy play. Did not get there.
Felix goes up to 21 from his Sun Guide and draws a land, it seems. Just keeping them in
lands for him. That's rough. It's not what he wants here.
This deck roughly tops out at 5 or 6, so it's good to keep him in his hand to keep your opponent afraid of tricks you might have available.
Yeah. There's times where you could want 7 lands potentially to play the
Double
this snake and then have a combat trick still up. But for now, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, like this is a scary attack.
Moving in there with what's the first creature?
Staunch Art Defender and Sun Guide against
the 2/2 heroic, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that can get really big really quick and start forcing a bunch of chump blocks out of Daniel.
Yeah, I think Dan has a Titan Strength. I think that's why he went with this block.
That'd be very good. 5.
So that makes it
6.
indestructible, correct?
Mortal's Resolve? Mortal's Resolve.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was the... I don't know why he would have put it in his graveyard if it was the enchantment.
So 12 to 21. Things are looking really good for Felix.
Things are looking good for Felix, but Daniel's hand is still just terrifying. Like if he keeps choosing not to do the Nick Smith, then it just means he has like very strong plays on 4.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is the Minotaur that leads into the other Minotaurs. So memories of that past game are still just dwelling in my mind there.
Burned in your memory.
Is that Mogus?
Yeah.
Is that active?
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite yet. One away from being active.
Wow.
Jeez.
Felix is.
I guess this explains why he kept developing his board presence and waiting for a 4th land rather than getting any kind of value off the Nick Smith.
Trying to get as much of
he reads his own card.
Yeah.
So he has to either take 2 or sacrifice a creature. Felix has to take 2 or sacrifice a creature on his upkeep. I have a feeling he's taking 2.
Unfortunately, Mogus is Mogus a Minotaur in addition to his god creature type? Yeah, just the god.
I don't think they have that many creature types. Legendary enchantment creature, god. Yeah, Daniel is likely going to turn Mogus active next turn.
Alright, so we have a
unless he decides to block
Zealous a Cronin token jumping in the way of that 4/4, and he's going to be taken 4, dropping down to 8.
Yeah, Felix getting aggressive, hoping that Daniel's going to get rid of some of his devotion. Does not seem to be the case.
Dan's really leveraging his life total here, using it as a resource, trying to buy as much time as possible to...
Gets to draw a card off his Chronicler of Heroes.
Yeah.
It's always fun getting that value off that. Draws another land.
Oh no, that's a Feral Invocation.
He does have a Feral Invocation though, so... do we know what Daniel's life total is at?
Dan should be at 8, unless I've missed something, and Felix is at 23.
So it's indeed possible that Felix can force through points of damage, especially if he's able to get something going on in the air. If he has a Cavalry Pegasus, he's probably in a very reasonable position.
Also, I didn't really expect to say this about a Rakdos God, but it's a pretty good blocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's active.
And it's active.
Knew he had a Borderland Minotaur. Just assumed. He's just getting in there with it.
Yeah, he's...
in for 7.
Come at me, bro.
Felix had a fairly high life total.
Yeah,
so
16.
Going down to 16, 18. I guess it stays at 16. Do the Mogus trigger.
I think we've seen something like this before, where someone went from a pretty good life total down to 0.
Yeah,
so
that may or may not have happened. Did not see what Felix drew. Still has the flash enchantment in his hand. So we'll see what Daniel decides to do with this. If he blocks too hard, then he loses a bunch of his board, and the Mogus falls off. So
Felix is at
We see him, Daniel still has like 3 cards of gas in his hand, which is crazy at this
Yeah.
stage in the game. Given the number of cards he's played. Guess what happens when you don't draw lands after your 4th.
It's like those one-landers you reluctantly mulligan. It's like, oh, but it looked so good. Like, how am I getting rid of this? It's like,
So
well,
much
you can't cast it. But come on, think about
Fortunately, he started drawing the right cards at the right time.
it. Yeah.
Things worked out for him.
Hashtag
kept
Brian
it
Lee
'cause-
style.
Probably kept it because it had stuff like Mogus in it. Just a very powerful hand if he's able to actually develop a board.
Krogmal
And against Felix's deck, you actually can develop a board, so
Ooh.
it encourages you to not block. And
I don't know. I'm starting to not like this Mogus attack. It feels
he
like,
just wanted to get in there for stuff, and he knows that Felix is not going to block. So
yeah. But now the
Although-
only problem is he's gonna have to double block, so he's gonna definitely need to draw a 5th land for the War Caller if it's even in his hand.
he could just also have other like cards. He has 2 of the
Yeah, but like, I don't think there are other cards that actually let him reasonably win this game from like say 3 life.
He just go potentially very low here.
Yeah.
And Felix does have at least 1 combat trick in his hand.
If I do have his life total accurately, Daniel should be at 8 right now.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on in this game. It's been progressing fairly quickly, so it's
Yeah.
very possible that our life totals are off.
But I have a feeling Feral Invocation is not lethal.
2, 4,
else.
5. Well, we could have drawn something else. We did draw a card this turn. We did not get to see what it is.
Yeah.
Alright, we're just going to damage. Felix opting to save that for later. Oh, that's why.
Alright,
This
so
this represents lethal, according to our previous situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Daniel's probably going to turn it right back on this turn. And Felix does not have the 2 life to gain of the following turn
yeah.
this time.
I'm not even sure if the War Caller is lethal, even if he draws it. I hope he's been remembering the Mogus trigger.
He has definitely been remembering the Mogus trigger.
Yeah.
And that Felix has been gaining 2 and then taking 2 each turn. Is he upkeep Titan Strength?
Upkeep Titan Strength. The best Titan Strength.
Well, that means he can't have the thing.
Oh, he ripped his
Regardless
5th
draws
land.
it. Oh, Rank of Mogus.
What a fantastic play.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage.
Wow,
Puts
it's
him
not-
down to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not close.
Yeah,
That's not
no.
nearly enough.
Yeah, he really needed that War Caller to combine with the Trample and the Pump to try to push through, but I still...
Yeah.
that's 0-6.
Yeah, that was 6 wall. It's very good. What do you target? Targeted the 2-1?
I was just doing the attack
11,
like,
12, 13.
this is a, are you a sane thinking human being attack?
Hold on, let's do some math here. He's at 11.
11,
Blocks. There's like a 5. There's 7 power going on there. This should just force him to get rid of the
yeah, he has to jump with the Sky Guard.
Oh, but he has the Feral Invocation for the Sky Guard, so he puts it in front of the 2-1, pumps it, and then blocks another card.
What did Titan Strength go on again?
Oh, but he goes to 2, so he just has to sacrifice a creature, and then he's good.
Yeah. And then
Assuming we have him at 11 correctly.
Yeah.
He blocks the Nick Smith with the Sky Guard. Feral Invocation's it. He does have a Feral Invocation, right? It's just... I definitely saw it earlier.
Yeah.
It just disappears. Like the middle card in his hand.
It's not a mirage. We are not in a desert.
He's just trolling us.
We're,
Alright.
we're not hallucinating or
Yeah,
anything.
blocked Mogus with the 606.
The 06 and
Takes what? Takes 5/9 damage. Sacrifice a creature with the Mogus trigger.
and
Gets in there in the air for 3.
Yep.
Again, we're assuming the life totals are correct. Could be wrong. Which would change our opinions dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. So apparently our life totals were wrong.
Yeah, and it's like
And
Daniel Yang is
congratulations to Daniel Yang
yeah.
on taking down 4-1 games PTQ for Pro Tour Portland M15.
all right. Congrats.
Congrats, and I'll see him there. Thanks, guys. We'll see you the next PTQ.